Hello, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be doing our What is Slow Stitch project, and it's week 3 already. So we're going to, what did we do? We did that one the first week, and then we've done that one last week. Loved looking at all of your different stitcheries and everything, and how you've interpreted it. You know, everybody's is so different. It's amazing. The creativity that we've got in the group. So week 3 I'm going to be working on a blanket stitch, which will also be we'll be doing some, I think they're called buttonhole pinwheels, that's what I know them as, and so we'll be doing some of those as well. This is a little bit it's not as easy as the straight stitch and the cross stitch and everything, but it is an easy stitch, but I just have to think about where I'm starting from. That's really the only thing that I stumble upon every so often. But I have been doing them quite a lot just recently, and so I'm kind of getting into it and just remembering where to start off. Anyway, we'll go through all that, so hopefully you know, you'll enjoy it as much as I do, because I love this stitch. So first of all, we're going to just be starting off with a basic blanket stitch. So I'm just going to grab some of my threads and start off on this one here. And I am going to be working, I think just 2 will be fine. I should have threaded my needle up before. Right, so just 2 strands. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And because I'm right-handed, I'm going to be starting off as I write. But if you're left-handed, I don't know, but it may be easier to go the other way. I'm not sure. You'd have to probably try it a couple of ways each way to see what's best for you. Actually, it's not. I'm going to be starting this. Right, scrap that. I'm not. I'm going to be starting here. I'm right-handed, and I'm going to be starting here and working that way. But I don't think, to be honest, I don't think it really matters. That's why you'd have to let me know if you're a left-handed person. Just let me know how you get on. But I'm going to start in this top right-hand corner and have my thread dangling down like that. Then all I'm going to do, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw it out for you. So we're going to making, it's all right, I'm just thinking where I'm coming, right, okay. So if you draw out a grid again, can you remember how we did it with the crosses? I'll just do those there. So all we're doing is like little square boxes. So my first stitch, I'm not going to go underneath this where I've just come out. I'm going to go down here to this one. Put it in there, and then I'm going to come up on this dot here with my thread underneath my needle. And just pull it up, and what will happen is that stitch will stop my thread from going down there, and it'll make like a corner. I've lost my needle. Okay, so let's just try that again. So I've got my thread there coming down. I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to go up there. So working on the front of my piece. You can stab it, you can go down, and you can go back up if you feel comfortable. If you've probably got a hoop, if you're working in a hoop, that might be easier, I'm not sure. And then just come up, and what happens is that stitch here will stop your thread, and it will make that right angle shape. So again, down and up. As long as you've got your thread underneath your needle, because what will happen, let me show you what happens if the thread's on top of your needle. It will just naturally do a diagonal stitch. Okay, if you do that, all you need to do is gently put your needle underneath your thread just gently pull it, and it'll make that right angle again. Okay, and we're just going to go across, down and up, just pull it through, and that's basically blanket stitch. It's slightly different to buttonhole stitch. Buttonhole stitch is this is quite smooth, and I think buttonhole stitch has got a little bobble on. I think you twist the thread somehow, but we're not going to concentrate on that. We're just going to do blanket stitch on this one. So again, just up there, and just go all the way across. Keep practicing. It doesn't matter how big your stitches are. Mine are quite big. You might want to make yours smaller. You might want to make them straighter. This might going wonky. Just try and pull that back a little bit so I don't go too far to the edge. We're getting a bit wider as well, so you can go a little bit closer together. As I say, this is slow stitch, so it doesn't matter if they're wonky at all. So that's one row. I'm just going to finish just where you've come up, the other side of your thread, just go down, and then you'll be able to just knot it off. Just do a tiny little knot. That will be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try the other way. I don't think it matters, to be honest, but I'm just going to try. I've got a little bit more thread, so let's just, if I start it here, no, it's fine. You can do it. Yeah, I don't think it matters whether you're right or left-handed. Look at that. As long as your thread is underneath your needle, it doesn't matter which way you go. You could practice both ways, I suppose, couldn't you? It might be good practice to do both ways. It seems as easy as anything both ways. So I'll finish that off until my threads run out. So a few more, a couple more stitches, maybe one more stitch. There we go. I'm just going to go over the top, so just so you're catching this thread like that. Unthreaded. There. Okay, so I'm just going to have a practice, and I'm just going to try and get my stitches a little bit smaller, because sometimes you want smaller ones. So I'm going to, go for a different colour. Let's go for this dusky pink colour. I'm going to try all 6. Let's see what happens with all 6. Probably might need, I'm using a cotton darner number 5, that was, but I'm going to just switch over because I've got a thicker thread now. I'm just going to switch over to my chenille number 22. Oh, somehow already got a knot in it. I'm not sure how that's happened. Just going to trim that little length off there, make it a little bit neater on the back. So that's how it looks on the back. Just straight stitches, really, isn't it? Like what we did last week. Okay, so I'm going to start back up here. Again, if you want, you can draw the one. So that's where I'm going to come up, and then I'll want there, and then you're just drawing two straight lines of dots like that. That's not that's much smaller, to be honest, but so come up there. I'll do these and then I'll try and go a bit smaller, just so that I've got some practice in. To be honest, my fabric is quite thin. I could probably do with a thicker fabric, or doubling up my fabric just to give it a little bit of body, but it doesn't matter, it'll be fine. All right, so I've done those ones. Let's try, see if I can get them a bit smaller. Try not to pull them too tight, but you don't want your fabric to be misshapen. If you are, I know what I could say. If you are interested in stitches, Christine from Create and Craft with Christine did a series last year, and she did virtually every single stitch that you can imagine. It's like she's like created this library of stitches. So if you are interested, pop on over to Christine's channel, because I think she even gives the history and a little bit of talking about the stitches and everything. And I'll link her. If she's got a playlist, I'll link her playlist. If not, I'll just link her channel, and you might, hopefully she's got a playlist, or I'm sure she's got a playlist of all her different stitches that she did. But she did a series. They're kind of like 5, 10, 15 minutes long. And yeah, really good if you want to have a look how stitches are done through a video. Which is always the best thing, isn't it, to watch somebody else do it, rather than just look at a drawing or a picture of a stitch. So she's got a fantastic series, so go and check that out. Like I say, I will link her channel. I'll try and get the playlist if I can to take you straight there. And I think they're all, I think they're in alphabetical order, so you should be able to, a bit like an index, you should be able to just go to the stitch that you're interested in, or you could watch the whole series even. Right, so that's about it. I'm not going to go much further. I'm going to just catch that thread there so they don't come undone. Go over and just finish that one off. Just make my knot. I'm not doing a double knot. I think that would just be enough to stop it from coming undone. There, so that's that. I've probably pulled them a little bit too tight, but not worrying too much. So that's that. Now what I want to show you, you can do some more rows of these. Feel free to do whatever you want on your piece. This is your slow stitch, so you can do whatever you want. I am going to show you how to do, hang on, right. I think it's called, did I say a buttonhole pinwheel? That's what I've always known it as. Let's get a different colour. What should we go for? Let's go for this peachy colour. No, we're going to go for the gold. So it's the same stitch, but you're going around in a circle. Don't panic if you haven't done them before. They're quite easy. So I'm taking 2 strands again, and I've got a knot. Don't panic, just gently pull it out, and I'm using my cotton darner again. So got my knot. Okay, so now if you want, you can draw a circle. So you can actually just draw, it doesn't have to be perfect, or if you've got something, I'm just looking to see what I've got to draw around. I haven't got, like, that's probably too big, but you know, a bobbin. Oh, look, there's a smaller one. Let's, like that. There, and do another one over there. But they don't, like I say, they don't have to be perfect, so you can draw them just freehand. Okay, as many as you want. Right, with your needle, again, you're starting at the edge, like that. So just come up at the edge, okay? And then you want to find your centre again. You don't have to be exact, you can off the centre, it doesn't really matter, okay? You don't have to put it exactly in the centre, there's no mathematics or anything else here, it's just wherever you want your centre to be, okay? So we're going to go down at the centre, and then we're going to come back up just a little bit away from where your stitch was. This is underneath your needle. So can you see how it's just forming that stitch again, that blanket stitch? And instead of going in a straight line, you're just going to centre, go into your centre again, and you're just going to go round in a circle. So keep going round in the circle from the centre, move a little bit away, down in the centre again. As long as you keep this thread here, this thread, the one that's out, underneath your needle, so keep it like that. You can pop it down with your thumb, come up there, just a little bit away. And can you see how the wheel is starting to form? And these are so useful when you're doing flowers. I love to do my hollyhocks. When I do hollyhocks, which I've done several times, I love doing these pinwheels. So again, in your centre, and you can do as many stitches as you want. You don't have to keep them as small as mine. You can do them a bit larger if you want to go larger. So what you can do, into that centre again, and you can come up away. Oops, I just have gone and pulled my thread there. Just let me try and get that back. Right, I've just gone to caught my thread and it's pulled it a little bit too much. Okay, I'm just going to undo that because it's sorry, I caught my thread and pulled it. Now it's, I don't know what's happened. I'm just going to take a few. If it happens to you, you can carry on. You don't have to you don't have to do this. Right, or you can undo them. So I've just undone those couple. So here I just need to get under there and grab that one again. I think it's that one. Right, I think I've gone wrong somewhere, but let's carry on. So into the centre and pull. I was, to draw these circles, I've used the friction pen, which is an iron-on heat erasable pen. So I could just, when I finish this, I can just go and pop it under the iron and these blue lines will disappear. If you haven't got one, just use a pencil, just do it lightly and you can hardly see. where it's been. Or you can just guess. You don't have to draw any circles if you don't want to. You can just guess the circle. Or if you've got if you've got fabric with circles on, that would be an idea to use the circles as a template. So we did applique last week. So what you could do is you could applique some fabric onto the backing fabric and do them that way. If you've got some circly fabric. I'm looking forward to seeing what you all do anyway, because you're all so creative. Okay, so I've got to the end, and then all I'm going to do is just carry this thread across to where we started from and go down. Okay, and then that's your pinwheel. So you've got like a star on the back. So I'm just going to finish that off there. And do another one. Excuse me, I've got a croaky throat. I don't know what's wrong with me today. So we'll do this, go back to the blue. Okay, and let's start another one. Okay, so we'll do this one here. This one here I've centered. There's my dot where I want to not want to start from, but that's where I'm going to have my center. So I'm going to go to the edge. Always start at the edge and go into the center and back up there, near, you know, a stitch away from the edge, from where your last stitch was. So there, and move over. Try not to pull it too much. If you want to pull your thread, so, excuse me, sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my voice. If you want to pull your thread, just hold your thread and pull. Don't just yank your thread, because then it starts to pucker up and it gets all difficult to sew with. Try and keep your fabric as flat as you can. Just be gentle with your stitches and you should be all right. And can you see how I've got some long stitches here because I've gone off center? Then we're going to start getting a bit smaller again. It's like a shell, doesn't it? One more, just where we started, and just go down on the outside just to catch that thread so it doesn't come undone. And there we go. Okay, save that. I can go into my, I wonder if I've got any in my Orts pocket. Did I save any from last week? I did, look. Keep checking your Orts pocket. Right, we'll use some red then. Red it is. That's long enough. I don't know whether it's long enough or not, but we'll do a small one with it and see how we get on. not, it's quite easy to join. Right, so let's do this one here. So again, start on the outside and go into the centre. So this is going to be a tiny one. Just take your time. I think I'm going to use 2 pages today because I've got another pattern. It's still the same stitch, but it's a different pattern and I can't fit it on here. So I think today we're going to be using 2 pages. You don't have to if you've got a larger page, or ouch, you want to pop them all on one, that's fine. But I just want a little bit more room, so I'm going to use 2 pages up today. I did say at the beginning that there may be some spare pages left over, so this might be one of those times when we're actually using a spare page, because I'm going to do 2 pages of stitches. So I don't think I can use much more, that can go somewhere else. I thought I had some more red. Yes, I did, it's there. Let's use up this. This is a bit longer, I think. Okay, I'm just going to separate them. When you've got 2 threads, I think they've come from the same, they've not been separated yet. Just separate them because the thread lies better and smoother when you actually separate them all rather than just use them from the skein. Do you know what I mean? Like if you were using that, your threads sit better when you actually unthread them all. I'm not explaining this right, but if you undo them all and then realign them, they actually sit better rather than just sewing with that. Hopefully I've explained that. So anyway, while I battle with the threads, let's try and get this threaded up and let's start again. There are a few YouTubers that are following along with this and stitching their interpretation of the book. We've got Christy from Sew Bits Christy. She's doing it. If you want to head on over to her channel, these are all YouTubers that you can watch. So there's Sew Bits Christy, there's Christine from Create and Craft at Christine. I'll pop all of their channels in the link below, and also Velita from Velita Creates is also stitching along. If you want to catch any other YouTubers for some more inspiration, then pop on over to their channels. Okay, so just going along. This is a fairly large one. it's so relaxing because you just going around in a circle. You don't really have to think too much about it. You're following the circle, doing the same stitch. Back to where we started from, and over and under, and just finish that one off. I even like the stars on the other side. They look good as well, don't they? Pop that one there. Okay, let's, I've got some of that upstairs. I think, how many have we got here? I think we've got 3 here, so let's take 2 off. Okay, so I think this one can go down here. So again, from the outside. This one's also an off-centered centre. Ouch, I'm just going to stab myself. Just make sure that's not going to bleed. I don't want to bleed on the... No. That was rather a large stitch. Let's do some smaller ones to compensate. It's going to be a little bit uneven, this one is, but it all adds to the character. Because you can go as small as you want. You can go really close up if you wanted to. Let's do some really close up ones. Try that. I suppose you can fill in the whole of your pinwheel if you wanted to and have a solid one. Oh, I've got a loop. I'm not sure how that happened. No, it'll have to stay. It's only a tiny loop. Okay, tangled from all of the threads. Okay. Right, let's go for, well, so we've got gold here. Let's go for a gold down on this little one here. Okay. I've had a new chair and it's got wheels on, but I slowly glide away from the table. I need a rug underneath the wheels to stop me from keep sliding back. To keep pulling myself back towards my desk. It's not under. Okay, I'm going to just pull that. No, it's okay. It's fine. I thought I'd pulled it too tight. One more in there, I think I can. I can feel the knot. I'm just going to try and manoeuvre the knot away. Okay. That one. And I'll just do one more, and then let's get rid of that, and let's try this. This is like a pearly type thread. I'm just thinking, shall I do 2 strands or 1? Right, I don't know if I can get it through my needle. I can't get it through that needle because it's a bit thicker. Let's get it through that one. And then I'm going to double it up. I'm going to do 2. I'm going to double this over because I only got 1 strand. So that makes 2 strands. Let's do this one again. Now I feel as though I'm going to sneeze. Right, so my dot is right over there this time. So again, I'm going to be off-centered. You can try this with any thread. You could do it with wool even. I have a feeling that Velita might show us all of the different threads that we can get done in, and all the different examples. Because she did that with probably won't, but she did that with all of the running stitches, and it looked fab. But yeah, just have an experiment to see what threads you like doing this stitch in. You might favour something above the rest. Got a little knot. Oh, it's just come out. Usually if you're gentle, it'll come out. Okay, and I think one more, back to the beginning, like that, and over we go. Just trying to pick up a tiny bit of fabric to make a knot. There we go. Okay, so that one there, I'm just going to pull it on that one. Okay, so there's your buttonhole wheels, or your what do we call them? Sorry, I'm looking, I've made some notes. Pinwheels, buttonhole pinwheels. Okay, so I'm going to start on another page. So just the next page. You can choose a different page. You can, you know, do whatever you want. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep it circular. So I'm just going to draw a circle. Okay, just an outline of a circle. That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to get some thread. Which thread? Let's see, we've got this gold one first of all. This is probably going to be, I don't need that one. I'm going to have this needle. This is my thinner needle again because I'm only using 2 strands of the DMC or anchor thread to start with. And again, it's going to start off circular, but I'm not going into the middle. So start at the edge again, like we always do. We start at the edge of the circle, and I am going to just go in a little bit, so kind of like that, okay? And do some blanket stitch. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to go all the way around. This is nice fabric. This is a linen. It's a lovely, I think it's been starched as well. It's lovely to sew into. I think it's because it's not floppy as well. Like that one's quite a floppy one. This one kind of holds its form. So it's quite nice to sew into. It's beautiful linen as well. So stitches don't have to be too large or too big, just whatever you feel comfortable doing. It's like a life raft. Not life raft, a life, what are they called? Life ring thing. If it was in red thread, I think it probably would do. So it looked red and white. Okay, so nearing the end, I think I'm going to try and get 2 stitches, that one. No, I'm not, I'm just going to join it to where I started, just joined it. So I've gone a whole circle round. Now what I want to do is, now you can draw or you don't have to draw, it's up to you. I'm going to go round again. So just draw like that. I'm going to use the same thread because what I'm going to do is I'm going to join different threads when I need to. So again, at the outside of that line, the outside of the circle, then what I'm going to do is where you've got a bridge of stitch, you know, your long top stitch, I'm going to go into the middle and over. So you're doing another stitch on top of the one that you've already done. So I've gone into the centre of that one, but because this circle is bigger, you may need to go 2 stitches into each little alcove, if you like. You just have to kind of just see how you feel. I'm going to go to the edge of this one because I think this is going to need 2 stitches. So that's one, and then I'm going to go the other side of the same one and over. Okay, this one I'm going to take the middle. So I've gone into the middle, into the middle, and then up. We're just going to carry on doing a circle. So I'm going to go into the side of this one. You see how my stitches are kind of getting a little bit bigger. And then the side of the same one, like that. And then I'm going to go into the middle of this one, middle and over. And it doesn't really matter how big or small your stitches are. In fact, the more irregular they are, the better. I think they look better. So, like that. 2 in that one. Put just 1 in this one, maybe. Into that one at the side. And then into the centre of this one. Okay, I'm getting towards the end now. I think I might be able to get 1 more stitch, so I'm going to go into the corner of this one over, and then you need to join I'll need to finish this thread off and start again. So what I'm going to do is just, if you were finishing anyway, you just go over to the other side, just so you're trapping this stitch so it doesn't come undone. Okay, go over and just finish it off so that we can start again. So just put a little knot in it. Look at the outside, the back of that. That was good, doesn't it? Okay, and then let's start on another colour. And I think the more, that's not really long enough. I'll do this one here. I think it looks great when there's more colours on these ones. So again, just 2 strands, but you can do whatever you like. You can change it into wools or pearl whatever threads you want to do. You might not want to do 2 strands, you might want to do, 3 or 4, or even the 6 strand. It's up to you. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come back up where we went down on the outside and just carry on as we would have done if we hadn't have stopped. So I'm going to do 2 in this one here. Might do 2 in this one. Doesn't really matter. You can be as irregular as you want. And because this circle's getting bigger, you do need to do this. You do need to put a couple of stitches in some of them. Otherwise your stitches just get massive. That one. And I think I can do one more here just to join that up where I started from, and then finish just by doing that. Okay, and then we want another circle. So if you want a guide, just draw your next circle. See, mine is not regular at all, but it doesn't really matter. So close to where you've just come down, go back up on the outside of that and just do the same again. Remind me of those fossils, the ammonite. I think they're called ammonites. Although they're a spiral, aren't they? This isn't a spiral, but you could do a spiral, I think. I've not tried it, but I'm sure you could. It's just that pattern kind of looks like it. Okay, so we'll have one there. Pull my thread a little bit. So like I say, what you can do, you can start varying things now. Okay, start to do smaller stitches. Just see how that looks. I'm going to have to change threads again in a minute. Okay, so let's do some smaller stitches. So I'm doing 2 in each one here. Just see how that looks. Oh, I've just gone and unthreaded my needle. Let me just... Okay, I think I might be able to just get one more out of here. Then I'm going to need to finish that off. What else have I got? I've got some I'm being lazy, just trying to get some long thread, and then I won't have to keep stopping. Okay, we'll go for gold again. Okay, so where we went down, we need to go back up there. So there might be a knot there. Right. Okay. So we're doing close-up ones here. Do some more close-up ones. This is where my circle started to go a little bit skew-if, and it's a little bit wider, but that one will add to the uniqueness of it, because you know, everybody's circles are different, so you'll never get two the same. Okay, and then what you can do, you can start to go wider if you want. Just see how that looks. Okay, a bigger stitch there. And let's do one in that one. Okay, this is what would happen if you were just doing one in each one. You get, it's quite uneven as well, isn't it? Look at that. Miss one. Let's miss one. There you go, I've missed one there. See what that looks like. I don't know whether that's too big. Let's try it. No, it's too big, I think, because there's a curve there as well. I think that might be too big. Okay, so we've done some different ones there. Sorry, I'm getting all tangled up in my threads. Let's try and move them out of the way. Okay, and then let's go back to those there. Right, now I'm going to test you and push you a little bit further. Not test you, push you a little bit further. Now that you've done that, we're going to vary it a little bit. Now I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is kind of like a honeycomb stitch. So again, we're going to go in a circle. Again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. If you don't feel like it, it's up to you. But again, just do your circle, kind of like wonky. I like, the more wonky the better, I think. So there's my circle. So where I've just finished, come back up. Okay, come back up. All right, now what I'm going to do, where I would push down there, I'm going to just loop the stitch and come up and go down a bit further away. So what I've done, rather than go down there, usually I'd go down that there where the stitch is lying. Instead, I'm going to manipulate the stitch and just go and put my needle. Can you see how that stitch is being manipulated? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a normal stitch, but I've come down here rather than here. Okay. Again, pull my stitch. Can you see where I'm just putting my needle? Can you see how those stitches are moved now and they're creating a different pattern? Again, there. It's going to make it just that little bit different. In fact, it's reminding me of, you know, the dream catchers as well. That's what it's reminding me of. There. Can you see how I'm just doing one at the moment? I'm just doing one stitch in between each, whatever that's called, bit of stitch there. I don't know what would happen if I did two. I could try it and see. Let's see. That's one stitch there. Whoops, hang on, caught up. I've gone over towards that side. I'm coming over to this side. Let's see what that looks like. There. Okay. Again, down there and up there. And it just moves the stitch up. do a few single ones. Try not to pull them too much because you'll start to get puckering, but just be gentle with them. These are all the small ones, these are, so I'm going to go gentle with these because there isn't that much room to make that shape. I'm not forcing these to go too far out of where they're supposed to be. And then I'm just going to finish off there and then rethread. So again, just one over there. What other colours have we got? Let's do that peachy, not peach, pink. Dusky pinky colour. Okay. Make sure I'm not pulling on it too much. So where I left off, just here, start from. So these are all small stitches, I can't pull them too much. Now we're getting to the larger ones, so I can do, I might do two on this one. So one there. One there. Oh, now that, I'm just going to, I've only picked up one thread, can you see? I've only picked up one, I'm just going to redo that. Just gently unthread it. Let's try that one again. Grab both of them. There we go. Okay. I think I'll go through that one again. It's quite a large stitch. Okay. I think I've come undone. Okay, let's just finish off there because I'm going to struggle with my thread otherwise. Okay, let's try the, is that the one that I used last time? I think it is, it's that one, isn't it? I use this one. through that one. Use this one again. So this is a pearl, but I'm going to use 2 strands of it. So start where I finished. And carry on. So I can do another one there, small stitch. Even do another one. Can you even miss one? Let's miss one there and see what happens. Okay, what that looks like. And then I think I'm going to do one here. I think that'll do. I'll just go down where I started. Okay, there. And then this really comes into its own when you're on the second one and you start to notice the little honeycomb shapes. So here to where I've just finished. Okay, and starting again. You can see now, look, that one is a hexagon. The more you do, the more you get that pattern. Okay, got some small ones here. I'm not going to pull them too much, but there'll just be a slight shape to them. Sorry, I'm pulling it towards me, or am I sliding away from the table? Probably sliding away from the table. Let's get back in. I'm just going to just give it a bit of a pull because I feel as though I'm pulling a little bit too hard. I've got a little bit of puckering up there. I might do 2 on this one, just to get me around that corner. So not quite a hexagon that time because it's got probably another side to it as well. But this is all about, you know, being a regular. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oops. My thread is not quite lined up here. It's just there we go. I think I might need more thread. Let's just finish off there. Some gold left. Some pink there as well. Should about do it. Right, so where we left off. Just put that needle over there. Go with the flow on these ones and just do one strand at a time, one stitch at a time. See how they look. I think I might just get around the corner. I might have to put two in here. And then these will all be ones, but I could always miss them out. Miss them out if you want. You don't have to do them all. Right, I'm going to have to finish there because I don't think I'm going to be able to manage to get those last few stitches. So let's finish this thread. I've just gone, there. And let's have some of this pink. Oops. Right, so there we are. I see, this is one of the ones where I missed one last time, and it kind of makes a bigger shape. I think I need one there. That's it, and I think we're finished. So you can keep going round if you want. I'm going to leave it there for today. What you can do, actually, I just had a thought. When we did the little straight stitches, let's go back to last week, we did straight stitches. Okay, what you could do is, there's another stitch with straight stitches, and it's called seed stitch. So what you could do in the center is do some seed stitches. They're just straight stitches, but they're all higgledy-piggledy. So I find it quite hard to be higgledy-piggledy like this, but just have a go. So you're doing these straight stitches that we've done last week, but in a higgledy-piggledy mess, if you like. So just tiny little seed stitches, if you imagine scattered seeds. And you could do your centre seed stitches. This is just the stabbing stitch, but what you can do is you can work from your top, and you can just kind of, which I find a little bit easier because it is more random, just do that and just come up wherever you feel like, and it kind of makes for a more random stitch. Just keep working round. In your spaces. Until you've got the whole area. That's about it. I'll do some more. You can always find another space, I suppose, to do another tiny stitch, but at some stage you have to say is enough is enough. On there. I'm just going to use up my thread, and then I will call it a day. So we've just snuck in a little stitch there, haven't we? Although it's kind of like the same as your straight stitch, it's called a seed stitch, just because it lays differently. I think that's probably about it. I'm just going to finish that off. So we've covered. Just used another stitch to cover a little bit of fabric. There we go. So that's it for today. So we've done the buttonhole stitch, we've done it in straight lines, we've done it in circles like that to make the pinwheel, and we've done it like that to make the, I don't know what we want to call it, the little honeycomb dream catcher type thing, and some seed stitch. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll really look forward to seeing what you come up with on your little project books. So until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.